Back again with another topic video, one more for today. And today I'm going to give you my top 11 favorite 90s action movies. And again, like the previous two topics, a lot of these films I do have physically, whether on DVD or Blu-ray, but somewhere in these boxes, and I don't feel like digging through these boxes to find them. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and, jump right into it here. So at number 11, again, of my top 11 favorite 90s action movies. Number 11, I got to put Legend of Drunken Master. Definitely one of my favorite Jackie Chan movies. Great choreography, and it's just very entertaining. A lot of great fight scenes, whether it be in the market or the restaurant, and the finale. There's a lot of great choreography and stunt work in the whole third act of the film by Jackie Chan. And if you haven't seen Legend of Drunken Master, and if you're a Jackie Chan fan, you need to go check it out immediately. To me, it is a favorite. It definitely belongs to me in the top 11 favorite 90s action movies. And number 10, I gotta throw this in here. Rumble in the Bronx. And I know they're Jackie Chan movie, but to me, you have to have Rumble in the Bronx in there somewhere. That it's a great Jackie Chan movie. I love it. I mean, I know I do have the film on Blu-ray, but yeah, Rumble in the Bronx, it's a very, again, like Legend of Drunken Master, it's a very entertaining Jackie Chan movie. And to me, probably his best one. It's a 90s classic, especially in regards to action. It's a great martial arts film, and yeah, I mean, even though it was shot in Vancouver, which you can see in the film because there's a shot in the film where you see like mountain landscapes, but it's still a great movie. Number 9, Cliffhanger. Yeah, definitely one of my favorites, of the 90s in terms of action movies. Stallone, I love Stallone in the film. The plot, the direction by Rennie Harlan is entertaining. Great score throughout the movie. John Lithgow was a great villain, and it's a great adventure thriller. And yeah, to me, whenever I think about 90s action, my mind, I mean, there's other films here I'm about to mention, but yeah, Cliffhanger is one of those movies that, when I think about 90s action, my mind immediately goes to that film. I can't help but think of that movie, and it's a great one. Number 8, GoldenEye. Definitely one of my favorite, I would say actually probably, it could be my favorite Bond movie, or it could be in my top 3 favorite Bond movies. But, I grew up with Pierce as Bond. He is probably my favorite Bond. Even though really he did only 2 really good Bond movies, GoldenEye and Tomorrow Never Dies. The World Is Not Enough, it's okay. It has its merits, but, Die Another Day, I mean, let's not talk about that. But Pierce Brosnan was a great Bond, James Bond. Sean Connery was a great Bond. Roger Moore was a great Bond. I did like Lazenby, even though he only did 1 movie. Timothy Dalton, another great Bond. But Pierce, I grew up with Pierce, and GoldenEye was probably his best one. I mean, it's a great 90s action movie and definitely belongs on the list. And again, I could talk about, each film for a while, but, but I did review the Bond movies, I think back in 2020, but yeah, I need to go back and, rewatch the films again. I mean, being this time of the year, to me, this is like, James Bond season. Number 7, this to me is a personal favorite. I have to put this film in my top 11. So at number 7, I have to put Eraser with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I know some people might, scratch their heads at that, Eraser being in my top 11, but, to me, it's a very underrated film. And, also Eraser to me is kind of that last, true old school Arnold film, that felt like something he would have done back in the 80s. And I just love the action in the film, the railgun, Arnold as John Kruger. You got James Caan, he's our villain in the film. And yeah, it's a very entertaining film. The Eraser to me is a favorite when it comes to 90s action. So moving on to number 6, I have to put Under Siege. Yeah, I'm a big Seagal fan. Well, at least of Seagal back in the day. And to me, my favorite film he did is Under Siege. Out for Justice is great. That to me is right behind Under Siege. Above the Law is a great movie. Hard to Kill is fun. Marked for Death is fun. Even, like Under Siege 2, that's a fun movie. Fire Down Below is fun, but, for me, Under Siege is his best film, and it's a 90s action classic. So that is number 6. Number 5, I have to put The Perfect Weapon. Yeah, with Jeff Speakman. The Perfect Weapon is at number 5. Great martial arts film, and I don't have the film, but I want to get the film. I've seen it before a few times, and yeah, I want to get the film now on Blu-ray. I know it is on Blu-ray, but yeah, The Perfect Weapon is at number 5. You can't go wrong with that film, and if you haven't seen The Perfect Weapon, do yourself a favor and go check it out with Jeff Speakman, who's a great martial artist. So moving on to number 4, I have to put Demolition Man. Yeah, Demolition Man at number 4 is another classic of the 90s in terms of 90s action. You got Stallone, you got Wesley Snipes in the film, Sandra Bullock. Man, it's a great plot. I mean, taking place in the future, and you got Dennis Leary in there. Then you got all these things that kind of, represents what is wrong with society today, and yeah, it's a very eye-opening film because we're really, if you think about it, we're not that far from 2032, and all this stuff that we saw in Demolition Man has come true. That's why, to me, it's a documentary. But yeah, Demolition Man, great action movie. Also, a little bit of sci-fi in there. Wesley Snipes is Simon Phoenix. Great villain. So Demolition Man is number 4. Number 3, I have to put Predator 2. Predator 2 to me is a very underrated sequel. And I do have that, I think, in a double pack with Predator on Blu-ray. But Predator 2, I love Predator 2. You got Danny Glover in the film, Gary Busey, Bill Paxton. It takes place in LA, the city, where there's heat and conflict, and it's a fast-paced film, very energetic, great kills. The Predator has more toys, and what more can you say about Predator 2? Again, it's a great sequel, and to me, very underrated. Number 2. All right, so we're getting down to the final 2 here. Number 2, I have to put Mortal Kombat from 1995. And I know, again, some people might wonder, Mortal Kombat is at number 2. Why is it so high? But, to me, it's another favorite of the 90s. And there was a little bit of meaning there as to why, for me, it's so high. Because, years ago, we went through a house fire and stuff. And, one of the films that I owned on DVD that helped me get through tough times was Mortal Kombat. And I can't tell you how many times as a 15-year-old that I, would go back and, rewatch that film over and over again to help me get through, some tough times, way back when. And to me, when a film has that kind of meaning to you, and it may not be on everybody's top 11 or even top 5, 90s action movies. But for me, when a film has meaning, that kind of meaning behind it, and you love it that much, for me, it definitely belongs in that top 3. And Mortal Kombat, what more can you say about the movie? Great cast, great soundtrack, to me, the best video game, to film adaptation, and so much more. And yeah, Mortal Kombat, I can't say enough about the film. Very entertaining movie. And now we're getting to number 1. So my number 1 favorite 90s action movie, you have to throw in Speed. Yeah, Speed is, to me, when I think about 90s action movies, immediately, I mentioned Cliffhanger. I could throw Cliffhanger to that category. Demolition Man. True Lies is a film that would be, like, if this was a top 20 list, it would definitely be in the top 15. But Speed is like, it immediately, I have to go to Speed. When I think about 90s action classics, Speed should be number 1 on everybody's list. And I'm not telling you what your list should be, but you have to include Speed in some form or fashion in your top 5. I mean, if people don't like the film, that's one thing, but Speed is, to me, number 1. Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock, Dennis Hopper, Jeff Daniels for a little bit. But great premise, a lot of great action, great thrills, and yeah, I mean, Speed is number 1 for me. But yeah, so to quickly recap, number 11, Legend of Drunken Master. Number 10, Rumble in the Bronx. Number 9, Cliffhanger. Number 8, GoldenEye. Number 7, Eraser. Number 6, Under Siege. Number 5, The Perfect Weapon. Number 4, Demolition Man. Number 3, Predator 2. Number 2, Mortal Kombat. And number 1, Speed. So those are my top 11 favorite 90s action movies. But what would be your top 11? Let me know your top 11 down below. But thank you for watching, and have a good day.